Well, g'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the second part of this little radiogram restoration repair sort of thing. Well, yeah, there's not much got to be done with the Bakelite cabinet, that's for sure. It's mint. So this thing, we're onto the chassis now. Now, as I said on the previous video, we're up for doing the caps. So we're going to do the caps, but there's a couple of other things that I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about taking the front off because it makes it so easy to get at the chassis. It makes it easier for me to tip the chassis upside down to do the caps and so forth. We can clean the back of the speaker up, the speaker transformer, and the dial cord I'm not happy with. It has been put through the wrong hole on the drum, so that's why we can't get perfectly end to end on the dial. So I want to restring that. I never thought I'd say this. There's fishing line on there, and no, it's not good. It stretches its springs, and you can use it in a pinch, but no, I'm replacing that with actual dial cord. And well, that means taking the front off this. It means restringing the cord. I don't care. That's to make this a lot easier to work on. Okay, so first of all, we'll take this Perspex top off before it snaps. Knowing me, I'll do something with it, and yeah, it'll be just my luck. And then it's a matter of, there's two screws either end. There's a pot here. The volume pot has a nut on it. The others are being cut out, so they slip over it. This one hasn't, so it's only that. The rest of it, well, these are just the pulleys for the dial cord. So, and of course the speaker. Now, the speaker will come out with the front panel by the looks of this, and also the dial lamps, well, yeah, we'll take them off. All right, I'm going to get into this and see how we go. I didn't really want to do this, but gee, looking at the state of the rest of it, as you've seen, it's awful. It's got to be cleaned up. Okay, and well, as I said, makes it nice and light and easy to manoeuvre when I'm doing the caps. Okay, I'll get on with it. I'll stop jaw-jagging now and get on with the show. Tighten that bracket up. Now I'm taking the lamps out so they don't get broken. Now, the 6.3 goes, that's the ground. Okay, that's speaker ground. This is active over here, plus the green wire. And these two are just paralleled, I think. Yeah, just in parallel. So we'll take the speaker wires off, and I think we can get the speaker out first. We'll do that. Come on. There we go. Yeah. And this side, this obviously comes directly from the transformer down here. And I think for cleaning this, I'll be using the brake fluid cleaner, brake cleaner. That was a bit ratty, but anyway. Okay, now I can undo the 4 screws. We can get it at the bottom too, and take the speaker out separate. Okay, the screws undone. And there we go, speaker out. Now we do have a little bit of damage to the speaker, just minor things that I pointed out on the last video. It's a good magnet on that speaker. So as you can see, a little split there. And if we go around and have a look, and we've got a little hole there. Don't know how that's, looks like he's been eaten away. And a couple of little holes, you can probably see them there. Okay, on the actual dust cover. Other than that, the speaker's in pretty good order. It's a roller. Being an 8-inch, it's, well, maybe a 6-inch. It's a 6H, so obviously a 6-inch speaker. And yeah, certainly have to tighten this fella up. Other than that, the speaker's in good order. Right. Now, as you can see, we're starting to get this a little bit better to work on. So now I'll have to undo the nut of the volume control. 2 screws either end, and the front should come off, but then of course there's always the dial string, isn't there? And the dial string, yeah, we'll have to take some notes as to which way it goes. I'll just take some photos. Okay. Now, guys, what's going to happen now? What's going to stop us? Nothing. Yes, there is. There's a pulley up on this end. Okay. So, yeah, we can't do this. We're going to have to, there's the nut. We're going to have to take our pointer off and our dial cord. And he doesn't want to come off either. Okay. Here's our dial cord. Just do it. And, well, yeah, we've got it in a mess now. There's a bit of fishing line everywhere. It'll be easy enough to put back in, he says. And that's just wrapped around the end of the pointer. And the pointer, very sticky, but there you go. There's the pointer assembly. And no, it doesn't slide up. It's secured on there. Okay, so we're going to have to clean all this anyway, and get rid of all the grease and everything off this. And, well, certainly these fellas, even though, well, they're very dry, so, yeah, clean these, all the rollers up. Right. Well, guys, not very often you see me pulling a a dial string off, but there it is. Okay. Now on here we're looking at, well, you don't know with fishing line, 3 turns on that. This fella needs a bit of grease, so we'll do him. Our tuning gang, a couple of screws inside here. nice and tight as well, and one there. I do have pictures of all this, and there we go. And they're tiny little holes, so these fellas are going to have to be put on. I'll just cut all this off, and if you see how they've both gone down to the one hole, now there's another hole over here. I'm quite certain that one should have gone to there and one should have gone to there, not both from here out to one hole. That's why it wasn't going the full distance between the ends. Okay, tuning gang, lovely, very nice. Now, we've certainly made a difference as how we can work on this thing, clean it up, and get some caps in it. Now, I'll just cut the ends off these. As I said, fishing line, it will work, but not the done thing. Okay. And I don't want to lose that little fella, which is probably not original anyway. And get rid of all the line. There we go. So, yeah, all right for fishing, not real good for radio. Now, to lube this one up, grease him, a little circlip on this end. It's one of those ring clips on the end of him, and drop him out, clean him all up, grease him, put him back in. No worries there. Right guys, well, as you can see, easy to work on, easy. I will start now on cleaning up whatever's on here. I'm going to try some brake fluid cleaner and see if, or some brake cleaner as it's known as, and see if is that going to lift it or what are we going to need. I think the chassis is okay underneath. There is very little rust, although here there's a bit on the transformer, a little bit along here, but I think all this will clean up. We're certainly not going back to any further than what it is. Okay, I'll get on it and I'll try some different gear on it to clean it and see what works. That is superb. That works like a charm. In fact, it looks brand new underneath that. Okay, well, degrease is certainly going to work. So whatever it is, it's a grease type, probably been in a kitchen or something like that. And yeah, as you can see, guys, that's going to work 100%. Okay, well, I'm going to go through probably with something a bit bigger than a cotton bud and clean him up. And I reckon when I come back, it'll look $1 million. Well, I think that's a fair bit of difference. She's cleaned up nicely. Almost looks new, except for this. I'm going to have to take the lid off this and repaint it. It's a little bit rusty, but it just looks terrible compared to the rest of it. And, well, yeah, that's just me. Okay, and underneath, got rid of a lot of the black nicotine grease and everything that was under here. So, all looking pretty good, all looking straightforward. Now, seeing we've stripped this down, I'm going to remove this choke and fix up this problem here. I can't fix it in there. I need to get this out. So we're looking, one wire goes down, well, the HT comes in from this capacitor here, which is on the rectifier, through the choke and over to our B plus over here, B plus 2, on, this one in here, which is a 2K resistor, a 20K resistor, feeding, the rest of the RF section. Now, what I wanted to bring you into mind, this has been a standard radio chassis, I reckon, back in the day. And, well, if you notice, I'll just bring you down a little bit on this. Just, this has been cut here and here, and cut around here. Mind you, not cut real well either. Probably not with an angle grinder, but something similar for the speaker in this unit. I dare say this chassis would have fitted different radios. Now, I've been suggested AWA or Hotpoint. A good tip there from one of my subscribers. I haven't got you in front of me, so I can't mention your name. But yes, it's a good chance that this has been a normal radio, maybe with the speaker somewhere else, maybe in another type of gram. But these edges, they're very roughly cut. So it's, just to fit the front speaker in. All right, I'm going to get this out, and we'll have a look at the choke when I get him out and see what we can do with it. And I've removed this choke and made a bit of room in here for a bit more cleaning. But anyway, it's all come up nice. Now, this thing, we're going to be pretty careful here. So what we've got to secure these wires on this. Okay. So they're the two we've got to secure. Okay. So this piece, I'm thinking about, well, I don't know what I'm thinking about yet. We need this pushed down onto there and possibly glued into place. Maybe super glued or something like that to hold this in place, and then I can wrap more around. We're going to have to take off the outside layer and put him through the edges there. Sorry guys, I wasn't watching the camera. So we're going to have to do something like that. But we've got to secure these fellas to start with. Okay, so I'll just separate these. And, well, as you can see, that one just sits there. This one sits on the other side. I think I'll secure the wires down to start with, and then put this over them. Okay, I'll get this on the bench before we have more dramas with these wires breaking. Okay, I will be back and I'll give you a bit of a look at it after I've got it done a bit. It's, we'll just push him around there and glue him into place. And the same with this one. Now this one wants to come off there. There we go. Now that's between two pieces there. Okay, we can use this. That can go back down there and secure each one. Okay, I'll do this. I may take a couple of pictures of this to show you rather than I can't film this while I'm working on it. Okay. Okay guys, well, here we go. We've got a bit of hot glue happening around the place, and managed to get some of the original tape over the top of the wires. At least now everything's nice and solid, nothing's going to pull at it. And I kept this side, which I wanted to keep. If you look at it carefully, you may not be able to see it, but it has got Roller Australia made in Melbourne written on there. Very, very hard to see. Yeah, I don't think you guys can pick that up on the camera. But anyway, so there he is. So now I can pop him back in. And yeah, he looks a fair bit nicer than what it was. And then I'll get on with the capping. Okay, I'll get this done, recap, and I'll be back. Okay, all the caps are done. A couple of electrodes down in here, one up here. Well, this one's for your bias. A little 25 mic on the bias supply, and two of the HTs. The cap can was it's open circuit actually, so I've just bent him over. I've mounted another little cap just down in here, just to get it away from the road, out of the road there. The cap can I'm not taking out, that stays as is. Otherwise, of course, all Carl's capacitors. If you're not familiar with Carl, check his site on eBay for vintage bits and pieces, and capacitors, resistors, you name it, power cords. And of course, this is what we're just about to fit, one of Carl's power cords. And if you want to know where Carl is, the link's in the description of my video. Okay, so we're just about to fit this. Now, what I've got to work out is, the other one came in through here and just tacked on those two on the terminal strip. I'm looking for a way of securing this cable just a little bit better than that. So I don't know what I'm going to do here at the moment. Perhaps a little cable tie in on the side of this. I certainly don't like the idea of a cable coming in here and tacking onto there, and meanwhile this moving around. That can't happen. So we've got a tag strip there. We've got to tighten this up a little bit. It's not real good. And well, some sort of cable tie. I think I'll drill a small hole on this side and with a cable clamp and loop it around. Probably bring him around there and loop it in. Meanwhile, the grommet is rock hard. That's hard, and certainly got to replace that. And if we have a look at it, yeah, it's just, yeah, you can see what it's like. Not good at all. So we'll put another grommet in there. It's just coming off in chunks. If I can get a small cable tie to grab the power cord here, I can do that as well. I'll have a look around, see what I can find, and we'll get the power cable in. And then I want to fire this thing up and make sure everything's still going. And then it's a matter of, yeah, the front bit and that dreaded dial cord, which maybe not quite as dreaded in this case, maybe. Now, we've gone through this thing again, and I found these. A 20k resistor measuring nearly 50k, and a 250k measuring nearly 500k. So they're two feed resistors off the HT2 line. Yeah, obviously they're porous or something. That one's actually, yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of a split or something in him. I don't know what sort of resistors these are. They're porous looking, well, carbon resistors. And this 3 meg is totally open circuit. So now, as far as knowing where these things are in the circuit, I don't know. I haven't got a circuit. So I've just gone through, I've replaced the 3 meg there, the 250, which are with a 270, and a 22 here in place of the, what am I having? 20k. Okay, so both feed lines. So I think that's about all I can find at the moment. Everything else has been done. I think it's time to turn this over, put the valves in, and see if this is going to work. Now, the other thing I've done, as I told you I'm doing, is the mains cable. We've got a cable tie on here through to the side, and that doesn't move. So that's a good thing. I do have to put a fuse in here. I always fuse them now. Put a fuse in line, just in line with it to the transformer. Now, I haven't done that yet because I've got to undo this to put this cable through the back of the case. You probably saw that on the intro, getting it apart. So, yeah, I can't solder 100% until I'm ready to put the whole thing back together. But anyway, there it is. And, well, the next thing is to put some valves in, put extension speaker on it of some description, and see if this works. I think it will, hopefully, if I haven't made any drastic mistakes, especially with the electrolytics. I don't think I have. I think everything's right. Okay, well, can't think of anything else at the moment. Let's put the valves in, see how we go. So, what have we got here? And I've only just touched this one, and of course this red conductive paint's falling off. Probably won't affect it, but don't need too much falling off. Now that's the EFB, I think. Yeah, EBF 35. Okay, so we'll put him in. We have a 6v6, which goes in here. Now, I'll just get the rest of the valves. ECH35 goes up here. Bit easier to work on without the speaker and everything there. 6SK7 in there. There's our IF amp. And 5i3. There. Now I'm just making sure. Yes, that is the 5i3. Sometimes I get, just wondering whether I hadn't mixed them up. No, they're right. Okay. I'll get my speaker. We'll hook on. We'll put it on the dim bulb and see if this still jumps into life. Be good if it does. I'll also have to put the aerial wire on it. Okay, I'll go and do that now. Okay, connect our speaker up. And where's a decent ground point on this thing? Probably there. There's a little screw there. Go in there. Righto. Now, come around the other side here. We're on this dim bulb to start with, on the small one. I'll just get a couple of things out of the road here. Hook him in. Okay. Power is on. And we'll go up to, 130 volts and see what happens. And have we got anything happening yet? We're drawing 8 watts, so that sounds good. Up a bit further. and we're just glowing on that one. I've got both on there. I think we're right. Have we got any noise? Nothing yet. Yes, we've got some noise happening. Got something happening. And we might be on Graham. No, we're on radio. She's coming up. And we don't have anything. Got good audio. Okay. Not much in the RF department. Wonder if I got the aerial in the right place. Must have. Something's wrong. We've certainly got very good audio. If I go to Graham, still got good audio. Okay, we've got no... We've got no radio. Why? We should have radio, guys. What have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? Okay. Let's see. There's no smoke. Everything should be working. Just take this down a bit there. What have we got wrong? We were working. Okay, let's check a couple of things. Should be working for sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a little bit of a check here. HT here, 62 volts. Over here, 193. That's through that 22k. Possibly right. This one. 96 there. 193. It's a bit strange, that one. We haven't got much audio happening up this end. Okay, didn't touch anything up there. We got the wrong tubing. No. That's where he was. The 6SK7 seems to be somehow dead. There's nothing there, but there is back here. Okay, so it's what's going on here, guys? We've got no voltage there, none there, some there, 194 and 194, that's correct. We've got nothing on the first IF transformer. Second IF transformer, we have got signal. Okay. There's a wire not contacting here somewhere. Ah, yeah, hang on, here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay.
In that.
And for the rest of the season.
Yeah. But you know what, Graham?
Okay. We've got a bad connection on the IF can. Okay, I'll resoldering and we'll come back. Okay, well, we've just soldered up. The leg of the transformer had come adrift from where the 3 resistors and 2 wires all meet up. Yeah, because I replaced a feed resistor there, the 22K, it had lifted off that leg. But, okay, let's turn him back on and let's have a listen now and see if anything comes up now. And it should. There she comes.
And the way it's all playing out with Cleary, the way he's playing, even though at state of...
Yeah, a bit of football on there on 2EL during the afternoon. Now, I'm just going to check the voltage at that point. 145, okay. Feed is 194 to 145. That seems correct. Bit hard to tell. 97 there. What's our bias? Our bias is minus 10, which, well, sorry guys, I've got the meter. Minus 10 on the, if I can get it to sit there. There you go, 10.4. That seems about right for the bias setting. For the first bias, the second bias, minus 1.5. I would say that's pretty well correct, really. Bit hard to tell without the circuit. I am going to have another look tonight for a circuit, and certainly I will be putting the circuit up for you guys if I can find anything else. Okay, now we're back to square one.
And sat on the hill at Penrith.
And we've got an outside aerial on there, and it's making, hang on, no, turn my light on and off, makes no difference, just lots of interference.
That's all right.
Hang on. Have I...
Yeah, station there. And that one there that you're hearing is our local station. So, the next thing is IF alignment. What's our frequency, guys? We've got nothing on it. Is it 455? Being in Australia, I suppose it is for these two, but I'm not sure. Now, I think I might go in and have a inside and on my computer and have a search for AWA and Hotpoint. This is, could be. There's...
Yeah, but no.
I'll go back up here. And that's a bit on the high end of the band. We'll just see, does the trimmer make any difference here? Now, this is, if I put it there, disappears. That means the front one, that one is the oscillator. This one just alters the signal. That means that's the aerial. And just see, does it make any difference whatsoever? Yes, it does. Okay, we'll do the alignment later if we can find the circuit. There's another station there.
There it was. Yeah.
Local.
All right, Bruce.
In actual fact,
The gentleman hit on a very good point.
our tuning capacitor is very loose. He's a little bit too loose because I haven't lubricated this yet. I'll lubricate it. So in order to do that, I will be just tightening that little screw there. Loosen the nut off, just tighten the screw, only a tiny amount. But I'm going to put a little bit of a smidgen of oil in there and on the bearings at the front. And I dare say that will make it very loose. We'll try that now. I've got myself a new oil pot, which means I can get the oil in where I want it, not everywhere else. Okay, so that's the back one. Not much difference. And let's try and get him in the front there. There. That's good. And if you want these, go to the chemist shop, guys. Get a little pot like this. Or this was actually the reject shop, a $2 shop. I think there was 4 of these for $2 or something. They're brilliant. It's a lot better than the trying to use the big one. Well, yeah, that's still a little bit loose for my liking. It's, yeah, I'm just going to take him up a little bit. Now this is still running. Everything's still going there. The volume's still working. Let's just tighten him up a little bit. Get this bit done, and then I'll have to start cleaning the front and the pulleys and all the little things. There we go. All the little things that go on the front. Ooh, he's tight. Okay. Now if I can grab my screwdriver. And I'll have to hold him with a pair of pliers here. That's a little bit too much. Because if you don't have this a little bit tighter, the vibration, yeah, that's good. That's real good. The vibration will keep sending it off the station, and you'll get a station mid-range like this, and the vibration will gradually work it down if it's too loose. So that's the way of doing that. Okay, that's good now. It's running well. All right, we'll get onto the front panel, and meanwhile, I will keep chasing a circuit, but I don't think we're going to find one. So, all going well, the IF frequency will be 455. We'll give that a go. We'll see if it's tuned at all close to 455. Okay, I'll be back when we work out a few more things with this baby. Right guys, well, we're pushing through this one fairly quickly. We've got lots and lots on our plate at the moment. I've cleaned up the front of this, the front panel, and well, we put the drum on. You may have seen that. And well, the back, we've cleaned and greased the two rollers, which looks pretty good. All is ready. That's our gram input, by the way. I've got to smarten this little tag strip up a little bit. He's not real good. So now it's time for the speaker. Now the speaker, a few little areas that I've gone over. Just, yeah, the little cracks and little holes. I filled in the holes in the actual dust cap in the centre. Because I didn't want to replace it. The rest of it's okay. It's just a couple of very small holes. But otherwise, that speaker is really good. Okay, so now it's time to fit him in. And also what I've got to fit is our lamps back in. That's it, guys. There's not much. I had the tuning spindle out. I just cleaned it a little bit and put a little bit of lithium grease in there. That should run fine. And then it's a matter of how I restring this dial cord in here. This is, yeah, just got to work this out. It's not a very hard one. It just goes from the drum across to a pulley on the other side here, up the top, a couple of turns around the needle, and I've cleaned all this fella here. And yeah, back down onto the drum. So I think all that is going to be, and as you can see, the needle actually comes up and it can touch the drum. So there's no pulley required at this end. Hopefully it's a dial cord that is not so painful. And there's a tapping here on the transformer that the lamps connect to on these. So yeah, just if you're doing one of these, I guess you won't be, but there's a small tap just there. Righto guys, well, here I go. I got myself some dial cord. Well guys, that's done. And as you can see, they both come back to that point. It's about an hour later, and it's not the next day or anything, which is good. I tried it down this hole down here. It didn't matter what arrangement I tried. I could not get the dial pointer to go full distance from one to the other. I don't know. We tried looping it around twice, everything. It just would not work. It works perfectly with coming out of the same hole here and just taking the spring to one little tab there and the other end of it up to the tab at the top. So I don't know guys, I didn't want to muck around any further. As you can see, it goes right to that end, which is at the stop here, and the gang is fully open. And if we go back this way, and it goes to the stop there, and the gang is fully closed. So it's working. It's about an hour later. I've mucked around with it for a while. Don't have a lot of time to work out why there's two holes there. I don't know. Could have been a different radio. Maybe it just doesn't work with this chassis. Okay guys, we're all set up. Now I've unsoldered this speaker in the radio, and we're using our extension speaker. Reason being, I can put this on dummy load and not listen to our painful 1 kilohertz signal while we're doing this. And our meters here, he goes through our little amplifier box here, which is a Manuel from Electronics Old and New project. If you don't know about this, great little box. You make them up yourself. He's got all the files on his website, all the Gerbers and everything. I think it's PCB Way, or PCB Way, I think, or JLC PCB. Not real sure. One of those. So jump over. It multiplies your input signal roughly by about 6 to 8 times, so that 2.5 volts AC here, at least we can get a bit of deflection on here. Bit hard getting it off a speaker line directly to the meter. Okay, so I've got the radio setting off a station, no aerial. We'll put that on there. We'll go into the grid of the ECH35 for this one. And there we are. We've already got a signal. Now, if I go around this other side and bring this up. Okay, and we can... And we'll turn that off. We don't have to listen to that. Now, that's actually a very low level. That's 100 microvolts, which is very low. Now, I just hope you guys can see that meter. There we go. I'm going to take the volume up just a little bit more to give us a bit of... Yeah, about up there. And now, it's a matter of adjusting. Now, I'm just getting my alignment tool, which I should have had out. Okay, let's try this fella and see if we can get any that's going down, coming up and going down. Okay, so very little needed there. That's our peak there. For the second IF, and we're bringing him up a bit, but not a lot. That's right at the peak, right there. That's it, guys. They're peaked. Just try that again. Seems all too simple. That's definitely the peak there. And again, that's definitely the peak. Righto, that's done. So now it's a matter of putting this unit in its case so that we've got the dial and do the RF alignment. And then the radio side of this is done. We'll get onto the turntable. Now, as far as our alignment goes, guys, I'm doing the case at the moment, just polishing it up. This actually removes from the case. Now, I can actually set this here. It's the same, more or less the same width as this one, and the centre is right there. So I'm going to get some masking tape and attach this either end, and then we can do our RF alignment per this dial here. Our needle is running from point to point, which is good. So we're going to start at the bottom end, and let's try 600 kilohertz, and we'll adjust the oscillator for 600. Now we've got 55 here, you can probably see it there, and 600 there. Now a little bit of camera camera parallax error there. A little bit from where I'm looking at too, but that's close enough to 600, believe me. So we're going to attach our generator. I'll reattach my speaker and we'll see, can we drag it in. We've got him going there. I'll just attach our generator to the aerial. Oh, okay. Wow. That's spot on. 600. Wow. Okay. Well, there's not much needed to do there. Certainly no oscillator adjustments on that side. So, let's see what it's like up the top end. We may have an oscillator. Oh, that's an awful noise, isn't it, guys? Okay, 1400. There we go. Okay, I'll set a level there, a couple of 100 millivolts. Geez, this will spin me out if this is on 1400. Okay. How's that? Not bad. Sorry about the camera movement. This little camera doesn't like being upside down. 14, guys. That is spot on. Okay, so we've got an RF trimmer on the top end here. That I'll tip the radio up and we'll just go for maximum signal on 1400. Okay. And would be this fella here. That's our oscillator. This is our aerial trimmer. And let's get rid of that noise. Let's put a bit of volume onto the meter. Okay, watching the meter here, and can we get anything out of this? No, that's peaked. Guys, that's it. That's the alignment. This thing is one crazy radio. That is spot on. And put him there. Now that station there is Parks. It's about 100 k's from here. Where's Dubbo? There's Dubbo. It's 150 k's from here. What else have we got down here? Yeah, we haven't got too much, not too much during the day. But you ain't got it down. There's no time. Our local one, of course, and yeah, there's our friendly noise. One there. One there. There. ABC, more ABC, and our local ABC.
Of this drought is the worst in 20 years.
So in this drought, the lack of rainfall, lack of pasture.
Is that one there. And guys, this thing is performing unreal.
At a time when...
Love them. It's a cheapie and it's performing fantastic. But still, it is a 5-valve set, I suppose, so yeah, not that the valve counts anything, but yeah, it's those anything with a 6SK7 I've found in them seem to perform very, very well. Oh, on the ECH35s, yeah, they just seem to perform well. That's just my observations. And we won't play too much of that. Love the Bee Gees, but unfortunately, guys, I can't play it for you. Okay, that's it for the radio. We're going to connect this speaker and get on with, well, we can get this in the cabinet, and let's have a look at the turntable. Well, guys, I've given the case a bit of a polish up, and she's looking pretty smick, actually. So I've just dropped the radio in. It just sits in there, and let's put the bottom on it. And this seems to be all there is on the bottom as far as, well, there's no feet or anything. But anyway, I think these actually sit below the level of the Bakelite itself, so there shouldn't be a problem. And we'll do this, tip him over, put the pots on him, the knobs on the pots, and we'll have a listen to see what it sounds like. I know you love these screws going in, guys. There we go. Right. Now, we'll tip him over. I know I've got to undo the power cord later, but I'm doing the record player and everything first, the actual turntable. Okay, now that's looking pretty nice. That's looking real nice. Yeah, my customer should be very, very happy with this little unit. Now what we need is some nice felts on our pot shafts. And of course, if you want these felts, Carl's Capacitors and Vintage Radio Supplies. He's the man. Have I said that enough? It's certainly a nice looking unit, guys. Okay, and as far as the insides look, well, that's what this thing looks like without the turntable in it. Not much to look at yet. Okay. Let's plug him in. This doesn't have an on-off switch. There is none on it. It's via the power point. And that's a nice glow in there. It's a shame. We'll do some final video once she's all done. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like.
It's the best thing for world rugby, in my opinion. Because if the Lions had come over and just been rolling cigarettes, it'd have been terrible. But just one thing I would say, Pappy.
Oh, magic. Well, guys, we've got the radio back inside the case. The case is looking magnificent. This is beautiful. I'm going to leave this video now for the simple reason we've got the turntable to go. This will be too long a video with it, and I'd rather the turntable on a totally separate video. We've got to work out, it's a Calaro turntable, English turntable, and I want to go through it with you a little bit. I don't want to rush it with this thing, but this is
Really?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Just perfect. Very happy with this so far. So this will be the end of this video. So if you like this series, unfortunately another 3-part series, otherwise they're too long, but I wanted to show you everything with it. So anyway, if you like it, give us a thumbs up, you know the drill. Thumbs ups are really important, and subscribe if you haven't done already. Hit the bell and you'll be notified. If you like to buy me a coffee down there, wherever in that corner, it would be really appreciated to keep our restorations going. The restorations to revive all these old fellas. So most of my restorations are my own. There's the few odd customer ones, but other than that, and this is my hobby. This is what I've done all my life as a job, and it's also been my hobby, which I just love. Okay, until next time, when we get that turntable going, I'll catch us then. Bye for now.
2 picks have been, well, the number 1 has been out all year. The number 2 then